Hey there, fellow art nerds, and welcome to part 2 of our shape design videos. My name is Josh, and in this video, I'll be walking through how I use shape design and shape language to create original characters. I'll be applying everything I used in the first video, so be sure to check out our introductory video on shape design if you haven't. And with that being said, let's jump right into it. So for this one, I'm going to be starting off with the circle-based character. And for this approach, I'm going to be taking the literal shape of the circle and turning it into the character. And right now you can see that I'm running through the sketches, but before the sketches and the thumbnails, I typically like to figure out the personality traits or just lightly describe maybe even what the character might look like, just so that it gives me a little bit of a jumping point. Now, it doesn't mean that I'll stick to the personality traits completely though. A lot of the times I might completely move away from it. It really just depends on how I feel as I'm drawing the character. I'm still sticking lightly and loosely to what I wrote down as the personality traits, but I'm not sticking to it completely and never moving away from it. So as you can see, I came up with a few kind of doll-like drawings because that's what I wrote down, but as I was drawing it, I really liked this kind of woodland creature or a fairy type character. I really liked the shape that it had. I really liked that it had a bun on top, and the bun, I was like, oh, you know, let's just make it a complete circle. And so that's what I did. And then for the head shape, same thing, very much just a circular shape, and I wanted like the hairstyle to emulate the circle shape. So every chance that I got, I tried to make everything as circular as possible. So that's why everything is pretty much just straight up following the circle motif, the head shape, hairstyle. With the arms, I couldn't quite make them exactly circles, so I went with just very, very curvy kind of shapes for the arms themselves. And for the body, I went with more of a teardrop kind of bun shape. And for the color, I wanted a very lighthearted, pastel-y, watercolor-ish feel, at least for this moment. Later on, I do end up changing it, but I liked it at this point. So for our triangle-based character, we are just going to be using elements from the shapes. So compared to the circle character, I'm not trying to turn this character into a triangle or use the triangle in every single part of the character's design, just keeping some of the elements. So making things sharp, very angular, having a lot of converging points, and as you can see, that I only came up with one character design because I pretty much liked it right off from the bat. So just stuck with this cat-like character, really like the attitude, really like the kind of silhouette and how she's kind of long and lanky and tall. So again, trying to transfer a lot of the triangle shapes to the character's design, having everything feel just really pointy, like the ears. I realize now they kind of look almost like bat ears a little bit, but the intention was just to have her have these kind of horns poking up. And I really like the hair, how it was also pointing up. And then it gives it a X type of silhouette when you zoom out and look at the whole thing. And the martini glass was a little bit of a last addition where I just used the triangle motifs for the glass where it fit kind of perfectly. And yeah. Now you can see the coloring style I have for this versus the circle characters, really different, but I kind of unified it later on. So here is our cat character. And lastly, we have our square character. And for this one, it's just associating the shape with the personality. So for this last character, I wanted them to feel large and strong and kind of grumpy. And initially, I thought I wanted to go for a more creature-like design, but then I kind of was thinking about it and I realized that, you know, I just drew a kind of lighthearted fairy character, and then I drew a waitress type of character, and I thought, maybe all three of these characters should feel like they were in the same universe. So instead I went with a more basketball type of character. I'm saying character quite a lot. So as you can see, compared to the circle and triangle character, I'm not trying to use too much of the square's shape design or shape language in the design of this character specifically. All I want to make sure is that this character looks like they're strong, they're physically capable, they're a little bit intimidating and kind of, you know, grumpy, And so I captured this by giving it a bit of a scowling face, so it comes off a bit intimidating. Made their shoulders really broad and wide to give it, again, that physically intimidating look to them. Gave them really large, broad hands. And, you know, I guess I maybe went with basketball players because sometimes, you know, basketball players can feel a little bit intimidating because they're tall, they're aggressive, they're fast. You know, basketball can be a little bit of an aggressive sport, so I think that's probably my thought process as I was doing this. Was like, you know, what kind of character can I design that's like fun but also captures that intimidating feel but also feels related to the other two. So as you can see, I didn't really quite figure out a style to unify all three, so when you see all three of them, they kind of match, not quite just yet, but as you will see later on, I find a way to tie them all together. You can help support us as we continue to make free arts education by becoming a member on Patreon or YouTube. This will give you access to special perks like critiques and classes. So at this stage, what I wanted to do was redo the lines because I felt like all three of the characters, I really liked their designs, I really liked the vibe that they all had, but they just didn't feel like they were part of the same world or same universe or same style even. So I wanted to make sure that the style and line work was the same. And for me personally, my style, I like to go for very angular lines, very straight lines, and loose and sketchy. So I made sure to apply that to all three of the characters as I was redrawing them, just cleaning up the line work, finessing some stuff a little bit more, making sure the lines and the drawings were just a little bit cleaner and a little bit more precise than they were previously, but also making sure that all three of the characters, if you saw their line work next to each other, it felt like they were part of the same drawing style and same aesthetic. So I'm just for this basketball player, I tried to add a little bit more in the folds and just, again, defining the shapes just a little bit more. So as you'll see soon, as they're all lined up, the line work now flows a little bit more. And I added a little bit of thickness on the left-hand side to make it feel like there's a little bit of depth and shadow. So here we are in the last phase of these characters, and that is the coloring phase. Now for me, again, not only do I like to keep the lines loose, I like to keep the coloring a little bit loose too, to give it a bit of texture and just a little bit of nuance to it. So if you saw it from a distance, you wouldn't think too much about it, but if you zoomed in, you would see that it was a little bit rough, a bit patchy, and I just kind of like that texture. It's a very tactile, very sticker-like quality, so that's what I like. And the reason why I filled them all in with color first is because I like to paint a kind of block-in color, so then I can lock transparency, which means that it keeps the texture and keeps the kind of initial blocking pass, and then I can just fill in the colors without having to worry about coloring outside the lines. And right now I'm just painting in the basic colors, figuring out what I think matches the characters. Initially the cat character had more of like a black suit, but I thought a red velvet type color would work better. And same thing with the basketball player. I think originally I had a little bit more of a lighter blue color for the pants, but I wanted the tank top and the shorts to feel a little bit more uniform in their values, so went for a bit more of a darker blue. And for the color of the basketball player's skin, actually it's based on turtle, because like the shape of his head, I kind of based it on like a turtle's head, so that's kind of why I went with the green skin. Looks a little bit like Martian Manhunter. And now I am going in with the shadows, so I'm just keeping it simple, keeping it kind of like a cell shaded approach to the shading, not making it too complex, just picking a light source, put the light on the right hand side, so then all the shadow is on the left and all the light is on the right hand side. Again, trying to keep it simple, nothing too complex, as I would assume that this would be something made for television, and so everything would be pretty straightforward usually. So here you have it. These are our three characters that I designed. This is the final one where I took the final color versions and just tweaked them just a little bit more. And this is how you can use shape design, shape language, and shape associations, as well as the three major basic shapes to design 3 completely different characters that have a different feel to them and hopefully feel very individualistic from one another. Join a virtual class to start learning from our professional artists. Get creative assignments, individual guidance, and real-time feedback on your artwork. Start today and level up your practice. If you learned something new, please like and share with a fellow art nerd. And if you love receiving quality and free arts education, subscribe. Here's a couple other videos you can check out next.